Namaskar viewers, hello and welcome to this special broadcast on Samvaad TV. I am Tina Jha. A parliamentary delegation led by the Speaker of the National Assembly of Zambia, Ms. Nelly Muti, is currently on a visit to India. During the course of their stay here, they have met President Draupadi Murmu, Vice President Jagdeep Dhankar, Lok Sabha Speaker Om Birla and External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar. Now, during these meetings, discussions have ranged from economic and development cooperation, strengthening people-to-people ties, newer avenues of partnership, and also India's G20 presidency. To talk about all these aspects, the wider realm of India-Zambia relations, and the ongoing visit of the parliamentary delegation of Zambia to India, I have with me the Speaker of the National Assembly of Zambia, Ms. Nelly Muti. Madam Speaker, thank you for your time. Welcome to Samvaad TV. Let me begin first by asking you about your ongoing visit to India. I believe this is your first official visit to the country. So help us and our viewers understand how you and your delegates have been liking the country, and also in terms of substance, you've had meetings with the highest leadership in the country. How fruitful has that been also?
Thank you very much. I must say that the trip has been amazing, very inspiring, and emotional at times because of the sites that we have visited. First and foremost, before we were given an opportunity to interact with the high officials, we had the opportunity to go and visit the memorial site for Mahatma Gandhi. That was very, very inspiring. We had to pay homage to our father. I think he's the father of the whole world, actually. It's not only for India. And knowing the relationship that we have enjoyed with India, and also even our founding father, the late Dr. Kenneth Kaunda, the relationship that he had with Mahatma Gandhi, that really brought some emotions in my mind personally. But the meeting was very, very inspiring, very fruitful, because what we did was, having been elected the first female speaker in September 2021, I'm not a politician myself. I came from the legal profession. I've been a practicing lawyer. So this was something new to me. And being a new person, usually you have to learn from the people that have been there. So in this way, I took the opportunity to interact first with my previous former speakers, and also went on an orientation training program to the Commonwealth. As you know, Zambia is a part of the Commonwealth, and we interacted with the Commonwealth Parliament there in the UK. And after that, we thought of India, because India is one of the largest members of the Commonwealth and also the largest democracy. And because we are founded more or less on the same principles, we decided to come here to India to learn more about the practice and procedures of Parliament. As you may know, Parliament always works on practice, procedures, and precedents. So that's why we came to India to come and learn best practices.
So you visited the Indian Parliament along with your delegates. How similar or how different did you find the Indian parliamentary system compared to your country?
Basically, the two parliaments are same. It's only that in terms of the two chambers, we have only one chamber. We have a bicamera here, a unicamera. Here they have a bicamera. They have the lower house and the upper house. For us, we just have one chamber. But in terms of procedures, practice more or less the same. Because for us, as a unicamera, our members of parliament are elected by the principle of first universal suffrage, first past the post. And we have 156 members of parliament who are elected. And then the president has got power, according to our constitution, to nominate 8 members of parliament. And then we, a total with the speaker, the vice president, who is the leader of government business, and the first deputy speaker, the total number of members of parliament in the House is 167 members. So basically, it's all the same. And in terms of how we conduct our business, we do it through the plenary. And here we also experience that they sit through plenary. And we even witnessed yesterday, as we were going to parliament, the vibrance of the democracy in India, where there is the freedom of expression and freedom of speech. that we were looking forward to witnessing a session at Parliament, but unfortunately, there was the session was adjourned because the opposition were not happy with the certain issues. So basically, that was another lesson for us to learn that in India, if members of Parliament, especially the opposition, are not happy with certain issues, they can stand up and even stop a sitting from happening. So it was quite interesting.
You know, it's my honor to actually share the screen today and share the platform today with you, especially after learning that you happen to be the first woman speaker of the National Assembly of Zambia. You know, during the period when you were elected to now, what are the new things and new challenges that you have faced, especially because no other female has occupied this chair before you, and so there's not been an example that you could follow. But now you can set examples for the other young women of Zambia who will look up to you, be inspired, and will hope to become, make it big in politics and actually also become the Speaker of the National Assembly. So in terms of the opportunities, in terms of the challenges, if you could share some things with us and our viewers.
Okay, actually, women form more than half a percentage of the population. So they need to be given an opportunity to participate in the decision-making positions, especially at high level. So when I was elected as a Speaker of the National Assembly, like I said, something that came, I didn't anticipate that I would reach that level. And there's nothing unique about being a woman. It's challenges that speakers face in the House are quite similar in terms of sometimes you can have disruption, in terms you can have members of Parliament not coming on time so that you can form the quorum, so that you can discharge the business of the House in good time. As you know, parliamentary work is timed. You have to do certain things at a certain time. So nothing peculiar about being a woman sitting in that chair. Of course, there are these inherent perceptions by people that maybe a woman will not be able to perform as good as a man would. But we are all the same. It's only that when you are a woman, you are judged at a higher level. You are expected to do magical things than a man would do. But otherwise, the work is the same. The expectations are the same. All you have to do as a presiding officer is to ensure that you instill discipline and order in the House, and also you discharge the functions fairly when you are, for example, delivering rulings, whether it affects the ruling party or the opposition, it doesn't matter. What is important is that the rulings are fair, and same, they can be, you can create a precedent that can be followed by other people.
Absolutely.
So for young people, for young women, all I can say to them is there's nothing that can stop anyone from reaching even the position of a president. Here in India, we have a president right now. So women, we keep on breaking the glass ceiling. We are there, and it's good that we relate and associate and encourage other young people to follow our footsteps. And we are there to help them, to offer a help, to hold them, to uplift them, and encourage them to be able to be open to participate. And there's nothing scary. All you need is just to believe in yourself. And
absolutely. But
yes.
Would you agree that globally more efforts are required to have more women in leadership positions? I was going through the IPO Women in Parliament report, and it says even though there has been an increase in the number of women parliamentarians across the world, but the number stands somewhere around 26%, not significant enough if we talk about gender parity. So towards that aspect, more and more women parliamentarians globally, what do you think should be the right way for democracies worldwide?
From my observation, what I've seen is that the political will is everywhere. The men who are in the forefront are willing, and also the women are willing to be in the positions that at that highest level. But I think what we need to do is to change, to amend our laws so that there is provision for proportional representation. For example, countries like Rwanda, where they have the zebra format, where a man, a woman, a man, that is a better way of ensuring that women can also reach these high levels. Because what is happening right now is even at political party level, unless we have a specific policy to ensure that women are allowed to participate and are encouraged to participate. Because when you go out there and campaign, and women being what they are, they don't want to be looked at or insulted or bad language being used against them. And today, because of the social media, women are not very ready to and willing to go out there and be attacked. So you find that they are more reserved. But if we have our laws amended, they provide for proportional representation, and women can be given a platform to campaign, maybe just as women on their own. We reserve the quotas for them so that they can be able to participate. I think that will be a good way to proceed. I've seen countries like South Africa where there's proportional representation, that we have more women in political and at decision-making levels. So it is important to ensure that we amend our laws. And in Zambia, we are in the process of amending the laws. I think the government, the people, the stakeholders are all ready to ensure that we amend the laws and allow more participation for women in decision-making positions and also in politics. Right now, we have a percentage of 15% as members of parliament in the House. Previous parliament, there were only 18%, so the numbers have gone down. But if we have a process where we can we amend the law and we allow more women, then we'll have more women coming. Then they won't feel like they will be not scared, but they will be encouraged to ensure that they can participate in politics. Yes.
Talking now about the larger India-Zambia relations, you met the president, and after the meeting, the statement from her office reflected on the strong historical and cultural ties that India and Zambia have, but also at the same time, the need to further elevate these ties by way of more such parliamentary exchanges. Now, how do you think can we, have more of such programs, wherein not just parliamentary delegates, but more people-to-people connect, especially at the youth level? We've spoken about how women can make a difference, but also at the younger level, there can be more participation, more such exchange programs, which can elevate our ties further.
Okay. Thank you very much. As you may be aware, the relationships between Zambia and India precede even pre-colonial times, before independence. We had our late president, Dr. Kaunda, who came here even before Zambia became independent, and he did have some interactions with the late Mahatma Gandhi. And we have built our relationships from that time onwards. We have had exchanges at very high levels. Our presidents have come here, and also officials from India, including, I think, the president, the prime minister, have also visited.
The president.
Yeah, the president has visited Zambia. So that relationship is ongoing. We need to strengthen it. I think what disrupted our further interaction, was the onset of COVID, where countries had gone under lockdown. But now that we have managed to deal with the issues of COVID, we can interact. Physical interaction, I think, is better than interaction at a distance. So it is important that we build up together, because our president likes to say that if my neighbor is at war, then I'm not at peace. But if my neighbor is at peace, then I'm also at peace. So in the like manner, if India is at peace, so will Zambia be at peace. So we need to interact, we need to work together, we need to ensure that we take up the economic emancipation for the betterment of our people. Because today, look, we have the war in Ukraine and Russia. That has affected negatively even the energy sector, where you have fuel costing much higher, you have wheat prices going up, there is hunger. Why? Because people were relying more on one region. So what we need to do now is Zambia has got a lot of land. Why don't we go into agriculture? Why can't we grow our own wheat? Why can't we grow millet? Why can't we grow cashew nuts? India, in the like manner, has got land, has got people. Why can't we do that? Why can't we cooperate and ensure that we work together, we enhance our economic activities to a higher level for the benefit of our people? So this is why we have come to interact, not only at parliamentary level, because even as members of parliament, we are involved in a parliamentary diplomacy, whereby we do not only look at parliamentary procedures and practice about legislation, about oversight, but also we look at other aspects whereby we can come in and help the executive to advance certain aspects, like this South Global Dialogue. And I'm glad to, and even congratulate India for taking the president of the group of G20. Yes. So they'll be able, and they've committed, India has committed that is going to be able to speak on behalf of the South Global group. So that way, because we are advancing, we should not only depend on one region, like we depended on Ukraine, for example, for wheat. If Ukraine is under siege, or Russia has got problems because of the war or the difference with other countries, we should not only depend on that. We should also have other areas where we can grow wheat, like I've said, where we can explore our energy, where we can do so many things. So the cooperation, and especially in the areas of agriculture, in the health area, in the health sector, in energy, because now we have issues of outages because of the energy crisis. We have solar, we have the sun, we can exploit that resource. We have wind, we can exploit that resource. We have even pharmaceuticals, because in Zambia we have shortages of medicines, and India has got a lot of that. So if we work together, we interact, we visit each other, we learn from each other, we can be able to benefit from each other and be able to advance that for the betterment of our people.
Your answer leads me to the next question now on the expectations. So there are several initiatives that India has taken to not just use G20 presidency to, put up our own problems and find solutions, but largely for all like-minded developing countries, particularly that of the global south, because this is one region which has suffered the most at the cost of development of the developed world, but finds no platform when it comes to finding solutions. So now, when we talk about the countries in the global south, what are your expectations from India, number one? And in the just concluded Voice of Global South Summit, India did give a platform to these countries to raise up their problems. So how do you look at that initiative of India? What are the kind of problems that countries of this region want India to find solutions to?
Thank you very much. Because when we talk about global problems, the only way to solve global problems is to find global solutions. And how do we find global solutions? It's by countries coming together and working out solutions that can be able to better the economies, to better the relationship between other countries. So it is important we work together, we come together and find solutions which will be able to tackle the global problems. So that is the only way that we will be able to overcome the challenges that we are facing right now. Like I said, let's not only depend on one region, let's concentrate on finding solutions from other regions also, so that when one region is under siege, we can also have, we can rely on another region.
Absolutely. Coming back to now, this was about the expectations that countries have from India's G20 presidency, but you spoke about how India and Zambia have, built up on the relationship, on the historical and cultural ties that we have enjoyed for decades, even in the pre-colonial period. But for the benefit of us and our viewers, if you could elaborate on how we've been able to diversify into newer areas of cooperation. You listed out a whole, range of areas in which we can find solutions to, but particularly if we talk at a bilateral level, what are the newer areas in which now India and Zambia are looking forward to connect and strengthen their existing ties?
Okay. In terms of the new areas, of course, we can start with the health sector. We have a lot of our Zambians who come here to seek medical medical treatment from various institutions that are based in India. So what we could do is probably also, instead of just having India as the place that people can come to for treatment, we can have investors from India to go and invest and start up some hospitals, facilities in India, where we can have Indian doctors visiting Zambia and treating people from there. And Zambia is not only one country. We are landlocked by 8 neighbors. So that population, when you add together, we are looking about 800 million people. So in terms of the need, that will not be exhausted. So that is one area. We have also the mining, because with Zambia we have copper, we have gold, we have all sorts of minerals, which are not, which are being exploited and taken out to other countries. And we don't benefit as much. But what we are looking at is if we can have companies going to Zambia, setting up factories so that we can add value to those minerals, so that the price can be enhanced, and whatever is realized, maintained for the people of Zambia, that will be able to provide jobs, will be able to provide many other things, and also improve our economy. We can look at pharmaceuticals. As I said earlier, we have a shortage of medicines in Zambia. So, and India produces a lot of pharmaceuticals. So we can have companies going into Zambia, starting up industries, manufacturing of pharmaceuticals, and we can be able to supply the region also in Africa, because we are like in the center of Southern Africa. So we have access to so many other countries. Those countries can come and buy medicines from there. We have also Zambians of Indian origins who are doing business in Zambia.
In fact, I was about to ask you that a significant number of persons of Indian origin are there in Zambia. So how are they contributing to the growth of Zambian economy?
Very much. They are doing a commendable job.
And in what areas?
All areas. They are in areas of, they are in trading, they are in mining, they are in a lot of other industries, manufacturing. They are also doing manufacturing. I think we are looking at approximately 300,000 Zambian of Indian origin who are doing business in Zambia. They are doing a commendable job, and they are contributing to the growth of the economy, the Zambian economy. So we can take it to even a higher level. We have companies from India who have invested in telecommunications, like Bharti Airtel. We have Konkola in the mining sector. We have a lot of interaction. So we continue to uplift and to engage further and see what other areas that India and Zambia will be interested in, so that we work together. I believe that if two work together, it's more beneficial than one person working together. And why are we doing this? We are doing this for the benefit of our people, both the Zambian people, both the Indian people, and also even the world at large, because today you are not looking at a country as in isolation. We are looking at a country as a globe, a global order. I think which Mahatma Gandhi talked about, the new world order, where you are not only looking at yourself as a country in isolation, but we are looking at
so
what
shared values and shared resources is the way to go to further build up on the ties between India and Zambia. I'll take very quickly one last question, Madam Speaker, on the fondest memory, one fondest memory that you carry back from your official visit to India.
The fondest memory that I can carry from India is that alone we cannot achieve much, but together we can achieve more. So Zambia and India working together, we can achieve much, much more than we would be able to do if we just worked in isolation. We need to embrace other countries. like India and work together. After all, we are one, isn't it?
Absolutely. That's
We
the
are
philosophy
one,
that
yes.
India has been walking on the
Yes,
path
definitely.
of Vasudev Kutumbakam, which means the world is one family.
Yes.
And that's where the G20 presidency, the theme India has also put forward is one world, one future.
Yes.
So let's hope together we are able to find solutions to the global problems we've spoken about and to build on the historical and cultural connect that India and Zambia have in the areas of cooperation that you just listed out. It's been a delight to hear you, Madam Speaker. Thank you very much once again for your time, and thank you for joining us on the program and speaking to us on the whole range of issues about India and Zambia relationship, also about your and your delegation's visit to India. Thank you very much once again for joining us on the program. And thank you very much, viewers, to you as well for your time. That's it from us on this special telecast. Keep watching Sunset TV.